The bustling mall echoed with chatter and footsteps, perfume mingling with the scent of pretzels. Amidst this chaos, an unexpected figure appeared, Melania Trump. Her presence alone raised eyebrows, but what followed would challenge everything we thought we knew about her. As an elderly woman collapsed, the crowd froze. Melania's eyes darted between the unconscious woman and the exit, an internal struggle visible. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words echoed, "We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." Melania's next actions would redefine her legacy and our understanding of duty in crisis. The bustling mall hummed with activity, a microcosm of everyday life. Shoppers hurried from store to store, children's laughter echoed from the play area, mixing with chatter and clinking utensils. Amidst this sea of normalcy, a figure moved with purpose, yet tried to blend in. Melania Trump, sunglasses perched and hat pulled low, navigated the crowd with practiced ease. Her heart raced with exhilaration and anxiety. The anonymity was intoxicating, a rare taste of freedom from constant scrutiny. Yet a nagging fear persisted, the fear of being recognized. As she passed a group of teenagers, Melania's attention was drawn to an elderly woman nearby. The woman's steps faltered, her hand reaching out to steady herself. Suddenly, her legs gave way, and she crumpled to the ground with a sickening thud. Time seemed to stand still. Shock etched on faces around them, then chaos erupted. Voices rose in alarm, yet no one moved to assist. Melania felt paralyzed, a war waging within her. Every instinct screamed to help, but years of public life had ingrained hesitation. Memories flashed through her mind, scrutiny, judgments, misunderstandings, but also moments of genuine connection. The elderly woman lay motionless, her breath shallow. A thin trickle of blood seeped from her forehead. The sight galvanized Melania into action. She stepped forward, the crowd parting as whispers of recognition rippled through. Melania knelt beside the woman, taking her hand. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" she asked calmly. The woman's eyes fluttered open, filled with confusion and fear. Melania squeezed her hand, smiling reassuringly. "It's all right. Help is on the way. I'm here with you." Others began to move. A medical student stepped forward, and together they assessed the woman's condition. Melania cradled the woman's head, offering soothing words of comfort. Onlookers watched in stunned silence. Phones raised to capture the scene. Melania Trump, former First Lady, was on her knees in a crowded mall, cradling an elderly stranger. It was an image that would soon challenge perceptions across the nation. As the crowd's murmurs grew, a hidden facet of Melania's past emerged, one that would prove crucial in the next moments. The former First Lady's hands moved with surprising confidence, belying years of carefully crafted public appearances. As onlookers gasped, a question hung in the air. Who was the real Melania Trump? Melania's eyes narrowed in concentration as she assessed the elderly woman's condition. Her fingers, once adorned with designer rings for photo ops, now pressed gently against the woman's wrist, searching for a pulse. The crowd watched, transfixed, as Melania's demeanor shifted from that of a distant public figure to a woman of action. Whispers of recognition rippled through the gathering crowd. Smartphones rose, capturing every move of this unexpected drama. But Melania remained focused, seemingly oblivious to the growing attention. As she worked, memories flickered through Melania's mind. Long before she became a model, before she stood beside a future president, she had harbored a different dream. In her youth in Slovenia, Melania had briefly trained as a nurse, driven by a desire to help others. It was a chapter of her life she had rarely spoken about, overshadowed by the glitz and glamour of her later years. Now, in this moment of crisis, those long-dormant skills surged to the forefront. Melania's voice, usually reserved for carefully scripted speeches, now rang out with authority. "Does anyone have a first aid kit?" she called, her accent tinged with urgency. A young man stepped forward, medical bag in hand. "I'm a paramedic," he said, kneeling beside Melania. Their eyes met briefly, an unspoken alliance formed in the face of emergency. Together they worked to stabilize the elderly woman, whose life hung precariously in the balance. As Melania continued her efforts, the crowd's initial shock at her presence gave way to a different kind of surprise. This was not the Melania Trump they thought they knew. Gone was the enigmatic smile and the designer outfits. In their place was a woman wholly focused on the task at hand, her actions speaking louder than any prepared statement ever could. One onlooker, a middle-aged woman named Sarah, found herself reevaluating her long-held opinions. I always thought she was just, arm candy, Sarah whispered to her friend. But look at her. She knows exactly what she's doing. The paramedic, too, seemed impressed. Ma'am, your assistance has been invaluable, he said as they worked together to position the elderly woman in the recovery position. Melania nodded, a flicker of pride crossing her face before the mask of concentration returned. As the minutes ticked by, the mall became a stage for an unexpected redemption story. Those who had come to shop or socialize now found themselves witness to a powerful reminder of shared humanity. Melania Trump, often criticized for her perceived aloofness, was now the epitome of compassion and competence. The elderly woman's eyelids fluttered, and a collective sigh of relief rippled through the onlookers. Melania leaned in, speaking softly to the disoriented woman. "You're safe," she said, her voice carrying a warmth that surprised even those closest to the scene. "Help is here." As paramedics arrived to take over, Melania stood, her designer outfit now creased and stained. She looked around, seemingly coming back to herself, realizing the spectacle she had become the center of. For a moment, uncertainty flickered across her face. But then something remarkable happened. A slow applause began, starting with the paramedic and spreading through the crowd. It wasn't the polite, obligatory clapping of a public appearance, but a genuine outpouring of appreciation and respect. The applause faded, leaving an electric silence in its wake. Melania's hands trembled slightly as she faced a challenge that would push even seasoned professionals to their limits. The elderly woman's condition was deteriorating rapidly. Melania's fingers moved with precision, her actions focused. She called out medical terms that shocked onlookers who had only seen her as a fashion icon and former First Lady. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, a mix of awe and skepticism. A nurse pushed through, kneeling beside Melania. "It looks like you've got this under control. Where did you learn these skills?" Melania didn't respond, her attention fixed on the patient. Like a conductor leading a complex symphony, she orchestrated a series of intricate procedures. The nurse watched in amazement, following Melania's lead with growing respect. Time seemed to slow. Melania was transported back to a clinic in Slovenia. She recalled studying medical texts and the pride in her mother's eyes when she aced her nursing exams. The memory faded as the elderly woman stirred. A collective gasp rose from the crowd, followed by relief. Melania sat back, exhausted but smiling. The nurse addressed the onlookers. "I've been in emergency medicine for 15 years, and I've never seen anything like this. Mrs. Trump just saved this woman's life with skills that rival experienced doctors." The mall's atmosphere shifted. Admiration replaced skepticism. Phones captured an unexpected act of heroism. Social media exploded with eyewitness accounts. As paramedics took over, Melania stood, her outfit wrinkled and stained. The crowd parted respectfully, many reaching out in gratitude. A young man approached, tears in his eyes. "My grandmother," he gestured to the stretcher. "You saved her. I don't know how to thank you." Melania's response was soft but clear. "There's no need for thanks. This is who I've always been, beneath the surface. Sometimes we all need a reminder of our true selves." The mall's atmosphere shifted instantly as smartphones rose, capturing the unfolding drama. Melania Trump, the former First Lady, knelt on the cold tile floor, tending to a fallen elderly woman. Bystanders' reactions varied widely. Some faces showed awe, others skepticism. "Is this really happening?" a middle-aged woman whispered. Her companion nodded, speechless. As reality sank in, emotions conflicted. Young adults looked uncomfortable, struggling to reconcile this compassion with their preconceptions. An older gentleman removed his hat respectfully. Some stepped forward to help, including an off-duty nurse. Others created a respectful perimeter, their faces mixing concern and curiosity. A teenager lowered her phone, murmuring, "I never thought I'd see something like this." Social media exploded with updates. One post reading, "Former First Lady shows true colors in emergency." Your unexpected arch hero. Mall security arrived, hesitating at the unprecedented scene. Melania remained focused on the elderly woman, her composure creating a calm island amidst the chaos. As the crowd pressed closer, security struggled to maintain order. A news crew pushed through, breaking the spell. Voices rose, some defending Melania's privacy, others demanding answers. A skeptical onlooker called out, "Is this just for show?" Melania replied calmly, "This is about helping someone in need," before refocusing on the woman. A young woman's clear voice cut through the noise. "Everyone, please step back. This isn't a spectacle. It's an emergency." The crowd reluctantly complied. As paramedics arrived, onlookers wondered, would Melania step aside or continue offering comfort? The mall's atmosphere crackled with tension as paramedics rushed through the parting crowd. They arrived to find former First Lady Melania Trump kneeling beside an elderly woman, her designer outfit wrinkled and stained. Jack, the lead paramedic, paused briefly in recognition before his training took over. "Ma'am, we'll take it from here," Jack said steadily. Melania nodded, her face a mix of relief and concern as she made way for the team. The elderly woman's eyes fluttered, locking onto Melania's before the paramedics surrounded her. The mall became a hub of activity. Security guards struggled to contain the growing crowd as phones captured the unfolding drama. News vans arrived outside, their reporters pushing through the entrance. Melania found herself at a crossroads, feeling the weight of 100 gazes. Before she could decide her next move, a commotion near the entrance caught everyone's attention. An elderly man, supported by a middle-aged woman, pushed through. "That's my wife!" he cried out. "Please let me through." Security parted, allowing them to approach. The woman, presumably their daughter, locked eyes with Melania. You helped my mother?" she asked softly. Melania nodded. "I did what anyone would do," she replied. The elderly man grasped Melania's hand. "Thank you for being there for my Eleanor when I couldn't be." This simple act of gratitude shifted the crowd's mood. People who were jostling for a better view now stepped back, giving the family space. As the paramedics prepared to move Eleanor, Jack approached Melania. "Your quick action made a difference," he said. "We don't often see civilians perform CPR so effectively. You very likely saved her life." These words carried across the hushed mall, igniting a new wave of whispers. Melania Trump, often viewed through the lens of her former role or modeling career, was suddenly cast in a new light. A capable, compassionate individual who rose to the occasion when it mattered most. As the drama unfolded within the mall, a digital wildfire ignited beyond its walls. Within minutes, the story of Melania Trump's unexpected act of heroism spread across social media platforms, reaching millions. In the rapid-fire world of viral news, truth and speculation intertwined, creating a narrative that challenged perceptions and sparked heated debates. The first tweet appeared mere seconds after Melania knelt beside Eleanor. "OMG! Melania Trump just saved someone at Westfield Mall." A flurry of posts followed, each adding new details. An Instagram post featuring a blurry photo of the former First Lady kneeling beside the elderly woman quickly gained traction, its caption reading, "Former First Lady shows true colors in emergency, Joshua unexpected, Yarshua hero." Major news outlets scrambled to break the story first. Local stations dispatched reporters to the scene, while national networks hurried to confirm details. The race for information led to conflicting narratives in early reports. Some outlets praised Melania's quick thinking and compassion, while others questioned the veracity of the accounts. Journalists delved into archives, pulling up past interviews and statements from Melania Trump. Her previous charitable endeavors, often overshadowed by political controversies, were thrust into the spotlight. A clip from a 2017 interview resurfaced, where Melania had spoken about her desire to make a difference. "I want to use my platform to help people, to make a real impact." These words took on new significance. Political commentators analyzed the implications of Melania's actions. Left-leaning pundits grappled with reconciling this act of heroism with their previous criticisms, while conservative voices hailed it as vindication of their support. The incident became a Rorschach test, with each observer seeing what they wanted to see in Melania's actions. As the story spread, Curiosity about Eleanor, the elderly woman at the center of the drama, grew. Her identity remained protected, adding an element of mystery to the unfolding narrative. Speculation ran rampant about who she might be and whether her connection to Melania was more than just chance. Within hours, hashtags like Chakers Melania, the hero, Chakers Art Mall Miracle, and First Lady First Responder were trending globally. Social media users shared their own stories of unexpected heroism, creating a ripple effect of positivity. The incident had captured the public's imagination, becoming a canvas onto which people projected their hopes, beliefs, and values. Amidst the digital storm, Melania Trump herself remained silent. Her lack of immediate comment intensified speculation. Some praised her humility, while others questioned her motives for staying quiet. This silence, in stark contrast to the noise surrounding the event, became a story in itself. The incident had transcended from a local event to a global phenomenon in a matter of hours, reaching over 10 million people across various social media platforms within the first hour alone. As Melania Trump's unexpected act of heroism rippled through the public consciousness, it was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a figure far more complex than anyone had imagined. The woman who had long been seen as a silent enigma suddenly stood in sharp relief, her actions at the mall casting a new light on years of public scrutiny. Dr. Samantha Reeves, a political psychologist, found herself navigating uncharted waters. For years, Melania Trump was a blank canvas for public projection, she explained. This display of empathy has forced us to confront our biases and reassess our understanding of public figures. The contrast between perception and reality was stark. Late-night comedy shows that had once caricatured Melania as aloof now grappled with the image of a woman kneeling on a mall floor to save a stranger's life. Magazine covers that had dissected her every gesture scrambled to reconcile their past portrayals with this new reality. Social media erupted with conflicting narratives. Supporters hailed it as vindication, while critics experienced a profound cognitive dissonance. They grudgingly acknowledged her actions while struggling to reconcile them with their long-held beliefs. The incident sparked broader discussions on compassion in public life, challenging the notion that kindness and political affiliation were mutually exclusive. Dr. Michael Chen, a social psychologist, likened the public's reaction to a kaleidoscope suddenly shifting. What we're witnessing is a massive realignment of perception, he said. People are confronting the gap between their preconceptions and this new information. It's a powerful reminder of human complexity. As experts re-examined Melania's public image, a resurfaced clip from a 2018 interview took on new significance. In it, Melania had said, "I want to be remembered as someone who used her platform to make a difference." At the time, the statement had been met with skepticism. Now it echoed with newfound authenticity. The incident at the mall had inadvertently cast a spotlight on Melania's past, illuminating moments that had been overshadowed by controversy. Her work with children's charities and visits to hospitals were now viewed through a lens of genuine care and concern. As the dust settled, questions emerged about Melania Trump's future role in public life. Would she leverage this goodwill to champion causes close to her heart? Or would she retreat once more into privacy, content with the knowledge that she had made a difference when it mattered most? The elderly woman's family, overwhelmed by the outpouring of support, considered breaking their silence. "We never expected to be at the center of such a story," said a family spokesperson, "but we're grateful for Mrs. Trump's actions and the kindness of strangers. It's reminded us of the good that exists in the world." As the dust settled at Westfield Mall, Melania Trump's actions sent shockwaves through society, shattering preconceptions. Conversations shifted from partisan rhetoric to discussions of human kindness, with social media becoming a forum for sharing stories of unexpected heroism. The image of a former First Lady kneeling on cold tile became a powerful symbol of humility and service. Eleanor's family spoke of the kindness of strangers and the unexpected hero who emerged from the crowd. Their words echoed the sentiments of millions touched by the story. This event had bridged divides, reminding us of our shared humanity. As people reflected on this moment, many wondered, could this be the catalyst for lasting change in how we view and treat one another?